All right, all right. Yo. Welcome to another episode of Weirdinary. I'm your host, BradQuan, and today I have a very special guest. She is a voice of upstate New York, a social media personality, an observer of humanity, an advocate for verity, a lifestyle influencer, a local culture enthusiast, and dude, honestly, this is simply someone you need to fucking know. This is Iliana Jasmine.
That was a really nice introduction. I usually just say I bitch online.
Yeah. Listen, I don't fuck around with nobody's name. You know what I'm saying? We like to make sure that people are introduced clearly because you fucking matter. You know what I mean? I actually want to tap into something that you said because I thought it was interesting. You were doing a video and you were in Albany, and you said Western Avenue is the best worst street, Central Avenue is the worst street, and Lark Street is the worst best street. Can you elaborate on that for me?
Yeah.
I'm familiar with all three, but I have to know your perspective of that.
So, I don't know. I feel like this is like to know you gotta know kind of thing. So here's the thing about I'll start with Lark Street, right? Because this is like an easy one to explain. Lark Street used to have so many things going for it. It used to be so just like interesting to be there. There was a lot of community events. There was Lark Fest. The businesses were popping, like they were plentiful. And now I feel like that has a lot of that has been taken away with the loss of the downtown Albany sort of like club scene, bar scene. I talk about this a lot, how that's kind of been gone post-COVID with like the loss of like PSP and Blue 82 and other establishments down there. A lot of the Lark Street is kind of like receiving a lot of the flack of that, and I know that's like, you know, Pearl Street, whatever, but like they're all in kind of like the same vicinity. So it still has like the makings to be the best street, but because of the loss that it felt post-COVID, it has now become the worst street. Mm-hmm. So, with all that being said, the worst street is Central Ave because
I can attest to that, but please go ahead.
One of my bigger videos, I like literally just like started filming and I was like, please stop double parking on Central Ave. Yeah. Like, please, begging you, please stop double parking on Central Ave.
Wow, ignorant. I do it sometimes. I do it sometimes. I'm not gonna, you know.
Well, because it's a group thing, you know. Like if one person's gonna do it, we're like, oh well, they did it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna do it too.
Exactly.
But like, it's like really stressful. Someone with a lot of car anxiety, it's like really stressful to like.
Yeah, 100%.
And like, I know I'm not really like a driver really, but like being in like the passenger seat for that, even like my Ubers, they're just like, what the fuck? You know, so like that's a big part of it. Although Central Ave has a lot of great we're talking about Central. Yeah, Central Ave has a lot of great establishments. But it's just like notably like, oh God, like do I really have to go down Central Ave? And that's like a really big part of it. Also, another video that I had made, one of actually my very first like Albany-based video that I ever made, was talking about how they don't take care of the areas in and around Central Ave, and how there's a lot of like sort of like redlining in Albany, where some communities are taken care of more, and there's more money that's put into them.
That's a fact, absolutely.
And how other communities are not. And it just seems like the entire area of like the start of Central Ave all the way to the bottom of Central Ave, and like the areas in and around it, just like shit. Just like total shit, and like there's no money being put into it, which is crazy because there's so many like great, amazing restaurants there and stuff, and like small businesses that really should be uplifted, and I feel like that's intentional. As far as like Western Ave goes, Western Ave is right off of Albany. There's again a lot of great businesses there, and it's not that annoying to maneuver around. Like I don't think I've ever seen anyone like double park on Western Ave. I like really don't. Maybe it's because it's kind of like highway-esque.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah. So like there's a lot of like really great restaurants and stuff there as well, and it's just less stressful than I would say Central Ave is. So it's easier in my brain to like maneuver down it versus like a Central Ave.
The stress is real.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's but there's a lot of, I don't know, there's a lot of stragglers there. I mean, hell, a guy that's actually a business owner in Albany, the sheriff of Lark Street, he was talking a lot about like the homeless situation on Lark Street and whatnot. Do you have an opinion on that?
I think just like the homeless community in general in the area has kind of been neglected. And I think, again, like post-COVID, it's kind of gotten worse. What people need to realize is that, like, I think there's a lot of, like, angry or maybe distasteful rhetoric used to describe these individuals, but at the end of the day, these are our neighbors and they should be cared for and taken care of, and a lot of them have mental health issues, a lot of them have drug problems, and some people can't always advocate for themselves. So I think kind of, maybe propping up those communities and making sure that we take a deeper look at it. And I think like this is not just like a Albany, New York problem. This is like a national problem as well. I think that they should really invest more into those who need it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're from Hunter.
Yes.
Yes. It's a small town.
Yeah.
In the Catskills.
Yes.
Okay. Kind of working. Let's work backwards and bring our way to the present, right? Because I really want to understand your upbringing, you know what I mean, and just everything that makes you, because you have this amazing personality.
Oh, thank you.
You belong on television. You know what I mean? The shit you're doing, I'm like, you know what I mean? This is superstar shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to let you know. So that said, I mean, first off, explain to me the aesthetic, the smell, how it feels. Explain Hunter to me growing up in this small town, because you do not strike me as a small town gal.
No.
Probably why you felt the need to go, but.
So, growing up in the Catskills there's a stark difference between the way that I describe it now versus the way that I describe it back then. If you were to ask 16, 15-year-old Iliana how I would describe the Catskills, I would say that it was incredibly isolating and it was very cold. A lot of it can be described as the winters and the winters of my life, and just feeling so barren, and there was never one of the big things that I always wanted to experience was different cultural foods. In our town growing up, there was a Chinese restaurant, there's a Mexican restaurant, and maybe 2 or 3 other American style restaurants, but there wasn't really a lot back then, and it really hurt me in my soul as someone who wanted to go out and experience other cultures and other people. I think there was maybe 1 to 2 black kids in our school, if I'm remembering correctly, and this was a school district of 200 from pre-K all the way up to 12th grade. So Jesus. Yeah, super, super small.
How many people were in your graduating class?
28. So there wasn't, it was primarily, it was white, blonde hair, blue-eyed people in my school. And I totally felt super out of place for my entire life. And
I was going to say, because you're not white.
I'm Puerto Rican.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
People never clock that though. But yeah, people always comment under my videos this fucking white girl, and I'm like,
this person is not white. This person is not
First
white.
Of all, it's well, my mom is white, so I'm half white, but
okay.
So it's there. But yeah, so I'm Puerto Rican, whatever, and it I didn't grow up around people that were of similar cultures or had any sort of similar foods or anything like that. So it was really challenging for me, and you could kind of I think sense that, and that's probably why people are always oh, you seem really white, is because I grew up around white people. So it it makes sense.
People say that shit about me too, but it's because when you can articulate yourself and you have vast knowledge and whatnot, and you don't confine yourself to a box. They tell you you're white because and I'm just well, I mean, we're assigning these traits.
That's a microaggression. Yeah. So I just felt kind of isolated, socially, culturally. And I was always telling my mom, like, oh, I just want to go try Indian food, or I just want to go try, like, Colombian food. Like, I would, I always wanted to just leave so badly and go experience the world and other people and, like, really just get out there. And that was kind of, like, I felt so much time trying to, like, run away. I spent so much time trying to run away that it just felt like I never got to appreciate it for what it was. I never got to experience, like, the beauty of it, which I think is so funny now. Like, my grandma, my mom, they like to tease me. They go back and forth, like, I can't believe you made a social media presence off of talking about New York. You used to hate New York. And I'm like, dude, I know. Like, I too cannot believe it. But I think it's because I'm done running now. I've done, like, traveling around the world, and I can, like, kind of come back to it and appreciate it now for what it was and how I got here. Kind of the same thing that we're doing right now. And I think that you can't just, like, run from what made you, where it came from and whatnot. You have to sort of integrate it back into yourself when you become comfortable enough with who you are to, like, move forward in your life. And in a way, posting about New York has been somewhat cathartic for me, because I did hate it for so long, and I think I probably would have continued to hate it if I didn't have this, like, community rallying behind me saying, like, hey, there are, like, really good parts about this. Like, did you hear about this? Did you hear about this? And, like, when you're kind of, like, integrated into a group that's, like, all the time, like, giving you this, like, positive feedback about, like, oh, like, your upbringing and stuff, or, like, being from New York, for example, it makes you, like, kind of, like, change your perspective when people are constantly feeding information to you, like, and luckily in this context, it's a positive feedback. It's like a constant stream of people being like, hey, like, yeah, like, sometimes it does suck. Like, these winters up here, they freaking suck, dude. But but, like, just wait for the fall, or just wait for the summer. Like, you'll feel it again. You'll, like, have a New York summer, and you're gonna be like, oh, like, I get it again, and to have that sort of like, backing behind me has been, like, genuinely, like, life-changing for me. So I like, went off topic a little bit there, but
fine. Listen, this is Weirdinary. We go on tangents, and just so you know, because I don't know if you meant to do it, but you can curse on here. You fine? Yeah, you can curse on here, please. You don't have to censor yourself. So, my first question to you, Iliana, when you think back to your childhood, what experience shaped the person you became more than any other? Take your time.
Yeah. More than any other.
Because, I mean, you're a fucking globetrotter. You know what I mean? Let's see.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You gotta get in here, man.
I don't know where that came from, honestly. I don't know. Like, I think that was something I was just born with. I genuinely always felt like the need to just, like, go. Even when I lived on the mountain, I was always like, what if we go to this neighboring town? I knew people from all over from a very young age, because I was always like, what if we hit Caro? What if we hit Coxsackie? What if we were partying in New Paltz? What if we were partying in Kingston? And, like, using partying loosely. We used to go hang out with the boys down there. Like, like, I was always like, oh, I want to just go. And I just didn't want to be home ever. And so, like, okay, can we, like, narrow this down? Like, what specifically about me now are you hoping that I, like, answer about? Like, what, because I feel like so many different things in my life have, like, altered and changed me. I don't think that there was one, like, pivotal point in my life that made me. I really think that there were so many. So, like, I
guess if you could just one that's imperative. I guess what's the first thought's the most natural, right? Like, what's the first thought that came to your mind? The first childhood experience that helped just helped shape you? You know what I mean?
The first one. I mean, I remember the first time I felt fear.
Okay.
And that's like a really weird thing to like, I think, remember, because I was 3. And this is going to be so like silly and like it's not, I mean, maybe it did in some way alter my brain in some capacity, but I remember it was Halloween and my older cousin Brett, he was like dressed like a skeleton or something, and he came around like the corner of my grandmother's house, and I was sitting there. I think it was like Minnie Mouse this year, and like I was 3. I remember this so specifically, and I remember seeing him as a skeleton and like shitting myself. Like I was so petrified, and that's like my earliest memory. It was like the first time I ever felt fear, and I don't know. I guess I could like, if I was more articulate, I guess I could draw a line between how my first ever emotion that I can recall feeling was fear, and how that does shape your brain, because I think for the first like 5 years of your life, it's like the way that you like really like receive information. And I think fear for the entirety of my upbringing was probably like a driving factor. I was always so scared. Oh my God. And like, I don't think people like realize that about me, because I am like an extremely confident person, but like that's got to come from somewhere, right? Like it's gotta be like derivative of somewhere in your life. And of course that doesn't really always, it did not come from my cousin Brett scaring me in a skeleton costume, but it is like a marker of like the first time I felt that emotion and being like, okay, like what does that do to a person, and how does that change who you are in the long run? So I hope that was a good one.
Absolutely. And from there, I kind of want to dig into that a little bit. You know what I mean? How does fear affect you now? I mean, because I remember hearing this motivational speech from Will Smith. This was like before he did the Oscar slap shit. Say, yo, like if you're scared of something, you just gotta push yourself into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Pain is necessary, because it's like we have to, whenever we experience pain or discomfort or some sort, like, or something of that nature, like on the other side of that is growth, it's beauty, it's healing, you know, but you have to overcome the hurdle, you have to push yourself into it, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that fight or flight thing kicks in. As a kid, generally you run from it. But growing up, you know what I mean, I guess now, do you find yourself challenging that fear, stepping up to it more so, or are you still like apprehensive in that way? Like, do you feel like fear holds you back?
Fear's never held me back, and that is, it's always been a tool for me.
A tool?
A tool.
Okay.
So my little sisters, they always ask me, like, how are you able to do all the things that you do? And I just tell them I do it scared. You know, you cannot let anything in your life be deterred because you are afraid to do it. You literally just have to do it, and like close your eyes, cross your heart, hope to die. Like you just have to do it. And that's like how I've always carried it with me. I've never let the fear of doing something, saying something, being with someone, I've never let that alter how I move.
Okay.
Or like how I, maybe not how I move, but rather it's never stopped me from doing the things that I wanted to do. I didn't grow up with a safety net in any capacity, and if I wanted things, I was going to have to like literally just reach out and grab it and take it. And like I think that a lot of people in my similar position might have also experienced that, but also been like afraid to take something that wasn't originally theirs. You know what I mean? So being able to like believe that you belong in certain situations, in certain spaces, and just going out and being like, well, this is mine because it's mine, you know, and never questioning that. That's how I felt like fear was able to kind of make me at the end of the day. Like more so as a method of like being almost like a fire under my ass.
Yes.
Like, you have to do it. And there is no option that would qualify for any, like there is no other option.
You're a doer.
A doer.
How many siblings do you have?
So, my mom and father, they had us 4. And then I have a half sister my mom had with my ex-stepfather. And then my ex-stepfather had a daughter who I grew up with. And then my dad has 2 kids as well. So 8, but in my household in which I grew up with, I would technically say, like, by blood, 5.
Were you the oldest?
I'm the oldest.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah. When you said that, you know what I mean? I mean, damn, like, from where does that stem? I mean, like, you got... Tell me about your relationship with your parents. To start with your mother. You know what I mean? Like, how
Start with my mom?
Yeah.
So let's start with the dad.
All right.
So I don't have a relationship with my father at all, and that's why I said start with him, because it's shorter. I had my dad in my life kinda for the first 8 years or 9 years of my life. My parents divorced. My father wouldn't help pay my mom, like help my mom pay bills. So when we were about 9, we were homeless, and so he ended up going and living somewhere else, and my mom took all 4 of us. This is predating my youngest sister, so there was just the 4 at the time, and we moved in with my grandparents in Windham, New York.
Okay.
And that's right next to Hunter. And I'm not originally from New York. I was born in Connecticut.
Okay.
So people clock my accent all the time. They're like, "Are you sure you're from New York?" I'm like, "Shh, don't tell anyone." Yeah, this is like
you were raised in New York.
This is news. Don't tell anybody.
All right. You were raised in New York.
Yes, I was raised in New York. But my entire family like lives in Connecticut.
Yeah, 100%. Where you really gain your identity, that tends to be the place you represent. You know what I mean? I suppose, but fair enough. It's all good, man.
Yeah.
Rep Connecticut, dude. It's all good, man. Rep both. You know.
So. A lot of Puerto Ricans in Connecticut. So that's my when my father emigrated here, he ended up in Connecticut along with his mother and his siblings as well. But they came from the island. So yeah, they ended up in Puerto Rico, or ended up in Connecticut from Puerto Rico. God knows why, but they did.
Okay.
So yeah, we moved up to my grandparents' house, and we lived there for, I want to say, like 6 to 8 months. I don't really remember that much from that time. And then we moved into public housing in Hunter. And we lived there from the time that I was 9 to 15.
Wow.
And then my mom was like single, alone for pretty much most of it up until like age 12. And then she started dating my ex-stepfather. And then, yeah, we ended up moving into a home, and now she owns her home, so she's kind of like a product of, like, you know, pulling yourself up by your own bootstraps kind of a situation, you know. That's why I, like, believe so heavily in, like, socialism and stuff, because there's certain, like, social welfare programs that really helped me in my childhood, and my mom is, like, a really keen example of, like, a success story in that regard. Okay. So that's my dad. I haven't seen my dad since, I think, I saw him last at my brother's 18th birthday, so I was 19, and then prior to that, I saw him at 17. I invited him to my high school graduation because my mom said that I might regret it if I didn't, and I was like, okay, fine, I will. But before that, I hadn't seen him since I was 13, so I want to say, I'm 26 now. Yeah, that's like the last time. I don't have any communication with him. I think I tried to reach out at 21, and kind of just be like, hey, like let's put it all behind us, like all the drama between you and my mom, like that's drama between y'all, like I think that we can kind of come together here. And he just kind of wanted to blame my mom and then blame me for not like coming to see him. All the others like more into this. Like my father we used to meet halfway, right? So like he lived in Connecticut, we lived upstate. We used to meet halfway in Newburgh for him to like come and pick us up to bring us to Connecticut. And there would be times where he just like didn't show up. Like he'd tell my mom like 5 minutes out and we'd be waiting for hours. He would never show up. So like it'd be like, sorry, car troubles or like something like that. So like totally like I had this specific instance, this created trauma. Like this was a specific instance in my life that like I pulled out in therapy. Like this was a big bag of trauma for me to like having someone not show up for you. Like that's the core abandonment issue right there.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had to like deal with that for a long time. It started to like really like peak out, especially when I started dating guys and they would change plans last minute. Like I had a boyfriend at 16 and he was like, hey, I want to go do something today with my friends. And I was like, what do you mean? We had plans. We had plans. So like, you know, like feeling that trauma growing up and everything. Yeah. But it like has since dissipated because I think once you are able to like identify where, why, how, you're able to like kind of like mitigate it and be like, okay, like it was just a trauma and that's all that it is, and you can kind of move past that. So yeah, I like don't really feel that necessarily in me anymore. Couldn't get me. So, yeah, that's the shtick with my father. Just was kind of like not around, and so I reached out to him again when I was like 21, and he just wanted to blame, and he was just like, oh, you know, like the phone goes both ways, like you could have came and saw me, whatever, like why don't you come down here and see me, you know, and it was always like, woe is me, I'm important, and you should want to come see me, and I felt a little like narcissistic, and I was just like, okay, I can't do this. Like, I tried. Like, I opened up my heart. I let my guard down. But, like, if you're not willing to do the same thing, there's nothing I can do. Yeah. But, yeah, I don't really think about him very often unless my sisters have a different relationship with him. So, like, unless they bring it up or something like that, or, like, I'll see something that maybe, like, reminds me of that time. But, like, I really seldom think about it. Moving on to my mother.
Okay.
My special mother.
Rock and roll.
I think my mother is a lot like me, and in some ways, and a lot not like me in some ways, as all eldest daughters feel about their mothers. Obviously, this isn't like a new thing, but she and I were probably like different sides of the same coin.
Okay.
For my entire life. And she's a really fickle person. She has a lot of unhealed traumas that she lets dictate her life, and almost like subconsciously. Like she doesn't realize it's happening, or maybe she does, but she doesn't like let anybody in. And so she created more challenges, I think, in her children's lives, long term than she could have or should have maybe. It's almost like she would like start more problems than it was like worth or had a point to.
Blow shit up.
Right. And I think that there's so much nuance to this because like I said, like my mom like is one of the strongest people that I know for the things that she had to deal with at such a young age. But I think like the loss of her childhood with my birth ended up making her somewhat like emotionally stunted, and she sometimes to me feels like she's like stuck as, and she might watch this, sorry mom, but she you know, like she sometimes like feels like she hasn't like grown past that a little bit yet. But like you have to apply nuance and grace to people and meet them where they are.
We forget our parents are learning too.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to come to reality.
Yeah.
With that, you know what I mean? Their inner child is crying for attention as well.
Yeah.
And it just butts heads with the reality of their child. You know what I mean? And as a child, you can't comprehend this. You know what I mean? It's fucking trippy shit, man.
Yeah. And I mean, I gave her no grace as a child. Like I like was extremely hard on her.
Yeah.
I think I was her number one op from like the day that I was born to maybe like 23. I was just like beaten down on her emotionally. Physically.
I get it.
But like she and I just like constantly. And we go through phases, right? I think that now that I'm older and I can, like, I don't like live around there anymore. I don't like live nearby, so I see her every now and then. We spend time together, but I don't. It's easier for me to put a little bit of space between us so that I can keep myself under wraps. You wanted to know something that really changed who I was in my childhood. Yeah. I have one, but not necessarily my childhood, but like in my teenage or young adult years, I was seeing a therapist and she told me that I have a trauma bond with my mother. And it wasn't like, so what people like misunderstand about trauma bonds is that they think it's like a shared experience. So like you and I go through something together and now we're going to like commiserate over that. That's not what a trauma bond is. A trauma bond is when someone does something or experiences something at the same time as you, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the exact same thing, but it connects you together. So I hope I like articulated that correctly. But essentially from my understanding is that because my mother was experiencing her own traumas and I was experiencing trauma as like sort of like a branch off, like an offset from this, I then sort of bonded to her in that regard, right? So like growing up, I would like send her like tests and stuff that I had done in college, and I would be like, oh my god, like 94, and she would respond back, why not 100? You know, like it was, and like I felt the need to feed into this bond because I wanted her to approve of me so badly. And the day that she told me that I had a trauma bond with my mother was the day that I stopped it. And I knew in my heart that there was like, in order for me to move on and grow as a person and get all of the things that I wanted in life, I needed to separate from her and I needed to detach. So like cold turkey, for like a while, I didn't speak to my mom. And I just kind of like unlearned these behaviors that otherwise would have continued to exist had no one pointed it out to me. So luckily, I got to experience, you know, like someone else like clocking me for it. But it was really difficult to just like step back and be like, I need to be me at the end of the day. I cannot be me with you all the time. Yes. Because I wanted, again, so desperately, as all children do, to make their parents happy. But there was genuinely like nothing that I could do to satisfy her because I'm a reflection of her. And if I wasn't 100% all of the time, then that's a fault for herself. And all that she can do at that point is like feel some sort of way about me, neglect, berate, whatever you want to call it, because if I'm not doing well, she's not doing well. And that's why you have to kind of, I think a lot of people are really smart when they want to move in silence. I'm not a move in silence kind of a person. So like taking part of like that and like taking a step back from that was extremely important to me because I was able to then feel that experience of like not like having to tell everybody your every single move and maybe not opening yourself up for so much critique in that regard. I'm still learning now because I like to talk about myself a lot, apparently.
I mean, listen, we are, you want to get somebody comfortable, you know what I mean? The topic to do that with is themselves. You know what I mean? This is why I made this platform. I want people to tell me their story. Like, oh, I'm not interesting. Okay, let's just get them talking about themselves. They'll realize how interesting they are.
I don't like when people say that too. I'm like, come on, like you're not interesting. There's nothing about you that like happened in your life that like, you know what? Bill Nye said I think it was Bill Nye. It wasn't Bill Nye that like got this, but like Bill Nye said, everybody in this world knows something you don't. Maybe that was Winston Churchill. Guys, I'm not the best.
Somebody said.
Someone said it.
Each one teach one.
Everybody,
yeah,
you know what? Everybody in this world knows something that you don't. I'm gonna Google that right now.
God.
Everybody in this world knows something you don't. Bill Nye.
Bill Nye said it. Rock and roll. Fuck yeah. Hell yes.
Everyone in this world knows something that you don't, and so therefore their opinions in their mind are more valuable than you believe them to be.
That's what I'm saying. You know, it doesn't matter if it's the fucking homeless guy on the street. That person has something to offer.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me. You know what I mean? But we get so we're so caught up in vanity that we miss the verity, which is where the real beauty of humanity lives. You know what I'm saying? We just don't. We lack the patience to find that connecting point and build upon that. You know what I mean? That keeps us from meeting our full potential, I believe. But going back to the thing with your mother, then I want to kind of dive into your father really quickly based on something you said on TikTok. But so I kind of formed a question from what you told me about your mother. It was I was like, what major hurdle from your mother's trauma has caused you? What major hurdle from your mother's trauma has led to you having to overcome it? Like I literally, what the hell? I didn't.
I know. I get the question. You're good.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said the approval and validation, like you have a 94.
Yeah.
And she's like, why not 100?
Yeah.
So it's that sense of like chasing perfection.
Yeah.
And you know, perfection is the enemy of joy. You know what I mean? So it's like I can't appreciate.
And it's so crazy because I hate perfection. Like I hate perfect things. I always say that when people are like, they freak out because like something is like not specific, like you're like posting or editing something and it's like a document and it's like one sentence is off, like ever so like slightly kiltered or whatever, and they're like, this isn't perfect. I'm like, who the fuck cares?
A 10 doesn't exist. That's why whenever but when people like apply that shit to people, like, oh, she's a 10. I'm like, no, she's not. That's not a blow. But it's not disrespectful. It's like that doesn't exist.
Right. I mean, maybe for some people, I mean, like, I guess like a 10 is like everything's perspective based. Whether like who you like, who you don't like, it's all nuanced, right? Like that's all.
Yeah,
it's all about perspective.
I don't see a 10 in anything. I mean, the greatest.
No one.
No one and nothing. You know what I mean? The greatest artworks aren't perfect. You know what I mean? I don't believe any human is gonna be. You know what I mean? I just don't think perfection exists. I think perfection is a form. Mm-hmm. Is this intangible form that we chase that we'll never be able to attain, and we'll drive ourselves fucking insane if we don't allow ourselves to come to grips with that reality. Mm-hmm. And I guess is that the hurdle that your mother placed on you from her trauma? That was the hardest for you to overcome, you think?
I don't know if it was necessarily perfection because I haven't heard. I'm actually really close to my grandparents, so her parents. The relationship that I have with my grandparents, totally different from the relationship my mom had with her parents. So like, so like, I see my grandparents and I'm like, oh, like my Lord and Savior. Like I love my grandparents, but my mom did not feel that way. So her tricky relationship with her parents, I think it's just like the generational trauma thing. Like whatever struggles that they had were passed down to her, and those were passed down to me. But I'm lucky to be born into a generation of people that are really aware of their emotions and their feelings. Emotions and feelings are the same thing. And like want to specifically like change that and like better yourself. Like I feel like there's like a lot of like push right now for like self-betterment. So I was lucky to like be born into this generation where I can then correct. So, I mean, I didn't know it in the time, but for me, it was going to stop with me. Like, whatever trauma that was passed down, I'm not going to give it to someone else.
That's a fact.
And I'm not a perfect person. But I know enough to not hurt others, even if it's, I mean, sometimes subconsciously we do, and there's like nothing that you can do about that. Like, I'm not going to say, like, I've never been in a relationship where I haven't hurt another person. Like, sometimes that happens. So
it's about accountability.
Yeah, and like being like, okay, like that was like fucked up. I know that was fucked up. Maybe I won't do it again, or like maybe next time I'll do something differently. You know, like I just didn't want whatever they had to, like, I do think that I want children one day, so being able to like take that and like maybe have like a product of me one day that's not so, I don't know, I don't want to say tarnished, because I don't want to, like, that feels so derogatory towards like my grandparents and my mom, because like I don't feel like that about them. But like I just didn't want to, if there's like lines that run through us that sort of like chain us together as like this trauma that we have now all been connected through generations, I didn't want to connect that line to my future children.
And that said, I want to dive into the abandonment issues thing, because you said something interesting on your TikTok. You said you don't move for men.
What did I say?
You don't move for men. You
don't move for men.
Yes. What did you think I said?
Move from it.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, it. Who's
what are you
it?
talking about? You don't move for men. So
No.
There was this TikTok you said where I think you were in the mall or you were somewhere.
Yeah.
And these men were approaching you, and you were already walking your path, and you didn't move for them. Mm-hmm. What's the importance of that for you? Because I'm trying to like, and correct me if I'm reaching, because obviously you were, as a kid, you had those abandonment issues from your father where he wouldn't show up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, did that make it so like...
No. I don't think they're connected.
Okay.
It only really started with one of my ex-boyfriends. I like kind of like shift the way that I walk, like the mall and stuff. Like I always move myself for other people.
Okay.
And I think that that's like an inherently like feminine quality, is to make yourself smaller so that other people can exist, whether it's your children, whether it's your husband, whether it's the people that are around you. You always want to like inherently make yourself smaller so that other people shine. And I didn't realize that I was doing that. And he said it to me one day, and it like light bulbed in my brain. And I was like, how the fuck did you clock that about me? And you're a man. You know, like he was like, you're always moving for guys when, and he wasn't like saying it in like you're moving for guys. You know, like he was like, you move for people when they're walking towards you. Don't do that. Let them walk right into you. And it's like about taking up space. And a lot of the feedback that I had got about that video specifically actually was really positive feedback from not only other women, but women of color. They were like, I do the same exact thing to white people too. Like they don't move because people will like literally walk into you and they will not fucking move.
That was the thing. I mean, you know, back in like the 1800s and shit like that. I mean, you know, early 1900s and shit. You know what I mean? You know, a white man will walk in toward a black man or some shit like that, and like as the person of color, you need to get the fuck up out the way. You know
I mean, that's today. Like that's like, let's like be realistic here. Like that's not like only like 1900s. I mean, like that's like right fucking now. You meet the wrong person, you don't move up out of their way, what do you think's gonna happen? They're gonna walk right into you. Hey, watch yourself. Okay. Like, do not fuck. And like honestly, this is advice not only for women, but I think anybody that has ever like really truly like felt small, or like their existence is taking up too much space in the world, or like you're trying to make yourself sparse for other people. Don't fucking move out of the way. Let them walk right into you. Get the fuck out of my face. That's all I have to say about that.
I like that. As you were growing up, when did you first start feeling like you had to be seen a certain way to be accepted?
You mean like physically?
How does take me wherever the question triggers you toward, like, just take me there. Because it could be physically, it could be emotionally, it can go in either direction.
I think in my head, I automatically accept other people based on their physicality when they look, smell, and are cleaner. And by that, I mean like, oh, you're freshly showered, or like, your clothes are ironed. And that's subconscious in my own head. That's not something I picked up from someone else. That's not something that someone else told me. I was allowed to go out of the house with wrinkly clothes. I never ironed my clothes when I was younger. We were poor. Like, we weren't doing that shit. You know, like, I wasn't allowed to look, like, raggedy, but, like, I think that, like, over time, you kind of, like, build your scape on, like, what you perceive to be attractive in another person. And whether, like, that, like, goes, like, just, like, baseline attractiveness. I mean, like, I'm not talking about, like, oh, yeah, like, I find you attractive in, like, a partner sense. I mean, like, as, like, human to another human, what about you is, like, appealing? Mm-hmm. So if I'm sitting here subconsciously judging other people, being like, oh, I think that they look nice when their hair is done, or, like, when they're freshly washed, or, like, you know, when they are wearing a certain perfume or whatever, I think that that, like, automatically is on a loop in my own brain to also do that for myself. I do believe in, like, the look good, feel good thing. Like, to bed every night, I wear matching pajamas because in the morning I feel better about myself when I wake up. I look in the mirror, I'm like, okay, I look really cute right now. Good morning. I don't know. It's just who I am. I, like, want to feel good about myself. So, like, leading all of those different ways to, like, make sure that I always do my makeup I'll do my hair and my makeup every morning before, when I get ready, every single day. And now, do I have to do that? No, I don't. I mean, I am filming most of the time, but like, it's for me. It's not about how other people perceive me, because I like the way that I look without makeup on. Like, I can leave the house without makeup on. I do it sometimes at the end of the night. Like, I'll take my makeup off and then I'll have to go out again. That's fine. Like, I'll go out. I don't have, like, any sort of, like, self-consciousness about that or anything. I like feeling put together. I am a Capricorn, so, you know, those kinds of things just makes a lot of sense. But, yeah, so I don't think that there was, like, one specific thing in my childhood that, like, really altered my brain. I will say my father's mother, so my grandma, she used to tell me that I need to shower every single day when I was, like, 6.
She said you do or you don't?
You do.
You actually don't.
Well, so my mom said that. She's like, you don't need to shower every single day. And I was like, Grandma said that I have to shower every single day. And I am now, like I shower twice a day. Like, once to twice, sometimes more if it's really, really feeling that way. But, like, I have shower problems. Like, I love the shower.
I mean, I love the shower. I know people that have told me that, like, after they shit, they have to shower. And I'm okay, fair enough. I mean, everybody's different.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. I mean, it's such a controversial topic, like, as to, like, how often you need to shower. You know what I mean? Obviously, if it's once a week, yeah, that might cause some issues. But, you know, if it's 6 times out of a 7-day week, 5 times. I mean, that's,
yeah.
I just, you know what I mean?
As long as I just can't smell you.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, as long as you don't smell like shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I think, like, my issues with, like, the showering stuff, I know exactly where this comes from, but there was, and so, like I said, like, I grew up really poor, and there was also a lot of other kids in my community that also grew up poor, but they, you know, and every family is going to take a different perspective on things, you know, and do different things for their children. But, and like, just because my family was able to afford hot water does not mean that another poor family could.
Not for nothing, I mean, cold water showers, there's a lot of good science behind that, but we can get into that at a later time.
But like convincing your like there was like, especially like around the time when like the boys started to like stink really bad, like I would be on the bus and there'd be like groups of like young guys that just fucking stunk. And a lot of them would be poor. And it was that I mean, this is like something that, this is Pandora's box for me.
Okay.
This, number one, made me like feel like really weird about germs for a long time. Like I don't share drinks or anything like that because like, I don't know, like it was just like tracing back, it just felt so gross to be around people that would stink. And I feel so bad saying it because I know why, but it like genuinely, it was just, it's so hard to feel sympathy when, or maybe not sympathy, but like...
Empathy?
It's not empathy either. It's really difficult for me to just leave it as is. Like, and like, be like, oh yeah, like just because they're poor, it's okay that they don't shower. Like, and it like really like made me change. Like, you know what, this should have been my like one thing that changed me in my childhood answer. Okay.
It's all good, man. We get it when we get it.
We got into the school bus story. I like am revolted by certain smells, and it like genuinely, I cannot be around people that just like stink. And people, places, anywhere. I don't know, like I just like short circuit. Like even now, like as I speak, you could tell like I'm like losing my composure because I'm like remembering how I felt in that time.
I like the immersion. I love it. Art. This is art.
And like I'm like so weird about it too. Like I'll date a guy. If he farts in front of me, I get really irritated.
Okay.
My ex of 4 years, he farts, and I'm like, leave the room now. And it makes me so mad. But it's because you're invading my clean space with fresh air, with your stinky air. Get out. Get out.
This reminds me of when I worked at the fucking yoga studio in Maryland. I had a Chipotle bowl, and I thought I was doing something. I thought it was just me. Like there was no class or anything. I thought it was just me in the space. I just had to fucking fart. It was a loud fucking fart.
I'm dead.
And it, you know, it was one of those like airy, you know what I mean? I thought it was just me. And then I like closed the door because I was like behind the closet door. I closed the door and my fucking manager's there. And she just looked so utterly disgusted. It was just so awkward. Like you could feel the tension. She just like walked away with just her face was just stuck on ick. You know what I mean? And she just left. I couldn't help but to just laugh. Like customers were coming in to go to class and they were signing the form and I was just thinking about it. I just couldn't help but just laugh. It was fun. You know what I mean? I'm like, you know, it should happen. You know what I'm saying? But
you know what? Everyone has their thing too. Like, might I add, like one of my friends, she hates burps. I don't care about a burp as long as you're not in my face doing it. Like I can't smell your freaking beef breath.
I mean, just say excuse me. You know, just say pardon me. You know what I mean?
I actually even hate that more because you're drawing more attention to it.
Oh shit.
Like that. Like, well, not when you burp, but like, I don't know. This is like.
If you fart, you're like, oh shit. Excuse me. Like, is that?
I'm like, you're drawing way too much attention to it now, and now I'm like doubly stressed because of it. I'm like,
shit.
Oh, stop.
Oh, have mercy. Okay, fair enough.
Like if you're just gonna do it, just do it.
All right.
And then don't say anything.
Just do it or don't say shit about it. All right, rock and roll.
Just don't say anything. And please don't do it around me.
Keep the fucking train. Let's keep the fucking train chugging. All right.
So yeah, so basically that childhood thing made me like really like freaked out about smells and stuff and like cleanliness. And so I think that sometimes I still feel like the waves of that. And it happened in the winter. I remember like specifically it was the winter on the bus, and like the first time I like was really like smelling like the BO of like other people.
In the winter, wow.
Yeah, and I shower more times in the winter than I do in the summer, and I don't know if that's a direct thing there.
I think there's a connection. Absolutely.
I hit the shower 4 to 5 times in the winter a day.
A day?
A day. For like 30 seconds, I will just stand in the shower. And also because I'm a little cold, but like, and I like to chilly. Like I like to like have my house be like a little chilly, but like not super hot.
Well, yeah,
and then I get in the shower and I'm like, oh, I'm so warm. And then I get out and put my fuzzy socks on. But
fuzzy socks. Yeah.
Right, fuzzy socks. You know.
Yes, I do.
So like,
Yes.
oh yeah, that's some inner workings for me right there.
I mean, we all
I'm gonna get some flack for that.
We all have our quirks. You know what I mean? That's fine. You know what I mean? I can understand that. Yeah.
The gears are turning in your head.
Listen. I mean, I can tell you a thing or two about a thing or two. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. How you doing?
This is Vic. Vic owns the place.
How you doing, Vic?
How are you?
I'm good. Absolutely. I
We're
see
in a
you
little
too, brother.
podcast moment.
So I actually developed another question from the homelessness thing that actually, interestingly enough, actually coincides with the next question I was gonna ask you. So, how has your experience from homelessness shaped you today? And I think that
That's a good one.
coincides with what struggle from your adolescence still quietly influences the way you move through life today. I think they kind of work in unison. But I want to focus on the homelessness thing because obviously there's a great level of empathy you have toward that population. So
Yeah.
I really want to understand your perspective on that, because it's hard for people to understand certain things when they haven't themselves gone through certain things. I've never experienced homelessness, so I really want to understand.
So, I want to specify like when that was happening, we were never like on the streets.
Okay.
But that doesn't automatically sort of like I want to preface that like that sort of experience wasn't my experience, fortunately. That doesn't negate like that's still like when you live in someone else's home.
If you don't
that's
have a
not
home of your own,
yeah,
absolutely.
like we lost our home in Connecticut, and we had to go to New York to sort of like avoid living on the streets. So, and I don't know if there would have been a time, like luckily I do have really good family, and I think that whether it would be my grandparents or like my aunt and uncle, like I think at some point like they could have like divvied us up as kids, whatever, like my mom could have gone somewhere. I don't think that we would have ended up in the streets, and that's like a blessing because my family is so good in that respect. But at the end of the day, my mom did have the 4 children, so it was like it was do or die. So we moved from Connecticut to New York, and then that was the first time that I was homeless. There was more times. When I was 15, my mom kicked me out.
Shit.
That was the second time.
Can I ask why? If you don't mind getting into that, I can understand if you don't want to touch on that.
I failed my science test.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Oh, God, there was like... So in my personal life, there was 2 times that I was homeless, but then this also happened again to my sisters at some point, and I'm not even going to go into their own experiences because, again, this happened. But, like, so the first time that it happened, like, it was just, like, I was really young. So, I mean, like, I was 8 or 9. So, like, that itself caused a lot of stress in my life, and I remember it being an extremely dark, sad period of my life, like, having to, like, live in my grandmother's house at some point, but like also like the vibe just totally changed. But then what really got dark was when I was 15. Now So my mom kicked me out, and I immediately just went to my grandparents' house. Like, I immediately was like, okay, well, like, I got to go somewhere.
Jesus. I mean, so like you brought home the failed exam and she's like, fuck.
It was longer than that. It was a really like long exchange of like fighting and screaming, and I was.
God.
Yeah, so I like spent a lot of time at my boyfriend's house at the time. My high school boyfriend's family was phenomenal. I mean, he was awful, but his mother like saved me in so many ways. So, yeah, I was 15, and I immediately was like, okay, well, I'm just going to go to my grandmother's house. And my grandmother knew my mom was, like, really hard on me. So she always, I don't know, like, opened up the house in such a soft, loving way for me. And I've always given my grandmother so much grace with her life because of how she's given me so much grace. And like there wasn't always a time like there was a time when I was like 12 going through puberty and I was a fucking menace that like I was mean to my grandma. Like I remember one time she was folding my jeans and I was like, don't fold my jeans or whatever. I don't know, I said something mean to her about my jeans and I made my grandma cry. I was like, fuck, I'm an idiot. Like I think back to that and I'm like, oh God, I'm the worst person alive. Like you know, like
I remember one time my goddaughter yelled at her grandmother her grandmother was my aunt, woke her up for school and she started to snap on her. And I'm like, yo, you yelling at your grandmother? You know what I mean?
Right.
And she apologized.
It's your grandmother.
Yeah, like, what you doing, man? You
yeah,
know?
so I was a little shit. But, I mean, overarching, like, she is, like, the light of my life. Yeah. One of them. I'm lucky to have, like, really good extended family. So I went and I lived with her. There was other points too, like my mom, whenever I was like really, really depressed, she would send me to go stay with my aunt. Me and my aunt are really close and we're very similar personalities. So like she would send me down there and be like, she lives in Connecticut. She would be like, just go stay with your aunt. And like she would always just like kind of like send me away. So, and like honestly, I was like, hell yeah, get the fuck out of here. Like I was hyped to get the hell out of there. So the homelessness thing, right? How that changed me, how that shaped me. I have an extreme fear, there we go with the fear thing again, of not having a home consistently. So through college, I had to like pay my own bills and everything. And like I moved out at 17 and moved up to Troy.
Where'd you go to school?
The Valley and then Albany. Okay. So like I had to like pay for my own bills and stuff and like learn how to like operate as an adult on my own. And a lot of like the kids in my class and stuff or like people that I knew, like they'd be like, oh, like just ask your mom for money. And I was like, you don't fucking get it. So, you know, I always had this like gigantic fear of losing my home because of that. I was like, what are you doing? So I definitely feel like that fear has like really, really shaped me. I stayed in a lot of relationships longer than I should have because I was scared that if I left, I wouldn't be able to like afford somewhere on my own or like I'd be like living with like annex and be like, okay, like I can't leave because my situation is just too like financially convenient right now. And like staying with someone simply because I was scared of being alone. So like being in those situations kind of consistently has made me really, really never want to be in that situation ever again. Okay. So starting with nothing and then getting something makes you almost always more fearful of losing it. There was no safety net for me. There was nowhere to go to. There was no home to turn back to. There's not a room at my mom's house that I can go stay in. Like kids talk about how like I can go back to my mom's house and my room's like the same as when I was in high school.
You don't have that.
I don't have a high school home. I have my grandparents' house, sure, but my grandparents are tough love. Like I could stay there, they'll help me out, but then I'm like, they're gonna kick me, you know, like, and like they're gonna be like, pull yourself together, get your act together. You know, there was never like a soft place for my head to lay. And that totally altered me and my perspective on living growing up. And now.
I mean, it just goes to show, because I always ask people, like, do you feel like adversity is necessary to appreciate paradise? I believe it is. I mean, does the adversity have to be bone crushing? Not necessarily, but, you know, I believe in necessary evil, so to speak. I think we have to go through certain things in order to become who we're supposed to become and to appreciate that level of existence. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit, it seems to me like you're doing well for yourself. I mean, from the videos I've seen where I assume you record in your home.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice fucking place. You got a great cat, by the way. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Question, what'd you major in college?
I majored in political science and history with a focus in equality and inequality.
Rock and roll. Let me ask you, what part of yourself have you spent the most time trying to heal? Because you spoke about the fear, the fear of being alone and shit like that, and I've come to realize there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, what part of it is that? It like what part have you spent the most time trying to heal, or are you still currently spending time trying to heal?
It's always, none of my wounds get triggered unless I'm in a relationship or unless I'm like actively talking to someone. Every time I'm alone, I'm perfectly fucking fine, and that's because I'm not being challenged in any sort of capacity. No one is pushing at the buttons, right? So you can say that you're all healed up, but as soon as someone like comes in and they're like, well, what about that? And then it like bothers you in some sort of capacity, that means you're not healed up. So, it's always like being pushed in some capacity in a relationship and finding what you are and what you are not comfortable with. And I think that grows with me as I grow, and who you become as time goes on, and what my desires and my inner workings are. But it's almost always like how my love life has unfolded.
All right. Your last relationship. Can I ask what was the straw that broke the camel's back that finally made you say that you need to, if you're comfortable? You don't have to answer anything.
He's a great guy.
All right, rock and roll.
He's a wonderful man that I felt like I really uncovered so many things about myself in the relationship, and like we had so much fun together, and we still hang out. So like he is still like a good friend of mine.
Okay.
Why it ended, the straw that broke the camel's back. We fought. Like when we fought, like it was like really big. Seldom happened every now and then, but when we did, it was big, and there was things that we would say to each other that just like you can't get over. Like
the respect was tested. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was never any like, oh, so there was a lot of things that he did to sacrifice for me in the relationship. Actually, so we had moved to Jersey for 2 years for my job, and he worked an online job, and I was gone. I travel for work, so like I was gone 90% of the time, so he was left alone. But he really struggled to like make friends while he was there, and so he had this animosity towards me that he moved somewhere for me and I was gone and he was by himself, and so like he wasn't thriving in the same way that I was. So I was like living this like, woohoo, I'm having the best time of my life, I'm going everywhere, I'm in Europe right now, and he was like, I'm home with the cats, you know, like, and there was a big divide in our lives. He couldn't do the things that I was doing, and sometimes he did get to come along with me, and that was awesome. But there was like really like some big fundamental differences between us that like we're peeking through. And I think like overall, like our like level of compatibility, like on a surface level, like we could kiki. Like he and I, we can hang. We love to go to the farmer's market. We love to get iced coffees together. We love to go thrifting. Like he and I can make jokes together. Like it's great. But like you get into like the deeper stuff, and there was a lot of like, he had a lot of animosity towards me for the way that I was like thriving in my life. And like I wanted the best for him, and but sometimes it's not as easy for people to reach out and grab things and take it. And he really struggled with that. And I think my like big personality made him feel really small, but it was never like he made me feel that way. Like he was never like, you need to stop taking up so much room, like space in the room, like in the room, whatever. Like he never like used any sort of like negative rhetoric towards me. He always pushed me to be myself, but you can feel that because of the weight of it, that he was becoming smaller in the process. And that sort of like back and forth became an issue long term. And when we moved back up here, he had asked me, he's like, can we move back up to Albany because my friends are up there, and we can go back to Albany. And I was like, yeah, sure, like we can get out of Jersey. So we moved back up to Albany, and that's when I started doing social media like more full time. And he was like, he had told me one time, he was like, we were supposed to move back up to Albany for me, and it was supposed to be my time to thrive. But all that's happening again is you're getting all these cool opportunities, and you are meeting all these people, and you're always outside. And I don't want to speak too much for him because he is like so close to me. And like I really can't say like too many like amazing things. Like he really is like a wonderful person. But like at the same time, like you can feel it.
It's that song by Jennifer Hudson, I'm sick of living under your spotlight or some shit like that. Like that's kind of seems like what he was dealing with. He just felt like he was always under your.
Yeah. But I never felt like I like couldn't trust him or anything like that. I always felt like he, you know, showed up for me in any sort of way he could. I mean, begrudgingly sometimes, but like he was still there no matter what. Even if he was showing up like your angry uncle, like, oh, I don't want to be here, but he'd still show up, you know? So he himself is such a light, and he really needs to just like shine in his own regard. And I told him that. I was like, you know, like you need to grow as a person for yourself. Because like when I met him, he was shiny. Like he was just this like effervescent light of a human, and I feel like I dulled him. I'm gonna be so for real. Like I feel like being around me didn't push him, but like being in such close proximity to someone who I know that I just every time I fail, I just hit the ground running again. I just do it again and again and again, and I don't stop. I don't think that everybody can do that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I'm also not willing to, like, make myself smaller.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
so, I mean, there's, like, and, like, he doesn't want me to either, you know? Like, he never asked me to, like, get off social media or do anything like that or stop traveling, quit my job. Like, that was never going to be a conversation. So it was like, how can he thrive as a human, but also allow me to thrive as a human? And sometimes you just got to come apart. You know, like, 100%. And like that's what it is, and like, no animosity.
Fair enough. Can you remember a moment in young adulthood when your understanding of who you were completely changed?
Yeah. I was talking about masculine and feminine behaviors. I've always felt like I was like, I had like this like masculine energy, and I think it's because especially in like relationships, I guide, I lead, I'm in charge. And realizing that about yourself is like realizing that that might be the reason why you're not maybe finding what you want. Not to like spew like feminine rhetoric or anything like that. To
Talk
be
your shit, Iliana.
right.
Please.
To be like, you know, like all women must be small or like, you know, like you cannot be domineering in any sort of capacity. You can be whatever you want to be. But if I was happy being so controlling all the time, then like I would just live it, right? But the thing is that I feel like I have to control situations and scenarios because I don't trust other people to do it, and I don't trust other men to do it. So like if I'm dating you and I'm planning everything, I'm like, okay, like we're gonna go to the bar at 7 p.m. and this is the location and this is what like we're gonna wear and this is what we're gonna do and then we're gonna go here and do this, and I'm planning the entire thing. When I was younger, it felt like I was like peaking because I was like, okay, like the night will go perfectly because I made it go perfect. But I don't want to be in charge. I want to be with someone who can do all of those things and allow me to feel like I have the back seat. So it like started to like, I think when I started like realize like I'm at the age of like where I could actually be married and have kids right now, like that's when it really started to click in my brain. I'm like, I don't want to pull the weight all the time, you know? So that was something that like really changed how I started viewing men and that I was like hoping to date or like talk to, whatever, and just like how I carry myself through the world. But actually made men dislike me more. I have experienced since that moment way less men like me versus when I was way more domineering. Yeah. When I was super domineering, it was like easy. It was like, okay, like I could have any, yeah. I could have any guy that I wanted. I could just go after him. And I think that it was because it was like a personality thing. Like it was like a lot of men automatically feel like they have to lead. And when you take that away from them, they're like, oh, okay. I think everybody wants to feel the back seat sometimes.
I think people want to be taken out of these expectations.
Yes,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
So like when I was like super like that, it was easy for me. And I was like, I got my pick of the litter. Clip that. So like, you know, so like,
a close friend of mine told me, he said, women want to be led. And I would find myself having friction in relationships because I want to have an open dialogue. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want to do? I want to find a compromise, but I would find myself having issues with that. I'm thinking this is a good thing because I'm taking what you want into consideration. I thought that was me being emotionally intelligent. Then I'm fucking finding out, oh shit, like that's being viewed as a weakness. Like, oh, I'm in masculine energy all the time. I want to be in my feminine. I need you to take the wheel. I'm like, what the fuck?
do you know what a power bottom is?
I have an idea.
John's not talking.
Yeah, go ahead and
So my
enlighten
sister,
me.
she's gay.
Okay.
She one day, she was like, Iliana, you're a power bottom. And I was like, bitch, the fuck does that mean? I was like, what do you mean I'm a power bottom? And she was like, you know, like, you want to control from behind the scenes, but you want, like for example, right, like open dialogue, right? I want you to be like, all right, what if we do McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, or Wendy's? And then you give me 3 options, but I'm the one that's picking. But because you gave me 3 options, you're in charge. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Power bottom in a respective sense of this, not in other capacities.
I know exactly what the fuck you're talking about.
So like,
You're taking it, but you want to control the situation.
Exactly.
Oh, shit.
so it's like a control thing, whatever. I always thought that was so funny. She said that shit. No, I was like, she said that when she was like 16 years old. I was like, oh my god, like, shh, you don't know those words yet. Stop.
She sounds highly intelligent. Maybe I can interview her next. What do you think?
She's the best. Oh my god, she's the best. She's like the funniest person I've ever met in my whole life. She's hilarious.
Oh shit, dude. Yeah, you know.
And she's so smart.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Let me ask. We're at the latter end of the interview. I know I said 2 hours. It may go over maybe 15, 20 minutes. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, rock and roll.
Yeah, I'll stay here afterwards too because I think my friend's gonna come up here and meet me She's studying. She's going to take the bar tomorrow. Sorry.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, so she's coming up to Albany, and she needs to study. So she's gonna come visit me here.
Hell yes.
Yes, she's taking the bar. Everyone say good luck, Kaden.
Well, good luck to her.
By
Absolutely.
the time this goes out, she'll be done. But
What kind of law? Is it criminal or?
she hasn't decided what she's gonna do.
I
Yeah,
don't know. Yeah, just taking it. That's what's up.
I'd like to see her in environmental law.
Actually, that brings me. You know, it's interesting. You were actually talking a lot in your TikTok videos about
The environment.
Yes, purity of the environment. And you were bringing a lot of awareness to the area, the geography, the way you were talking about. What was it? Hurricane Elena or Hurricane Eileen?
Oh, Hurricane Irene.
Irene, yeah, you were talking about it in just this geographical way. It was like earth science. I'm like, this person is really fucking ingenious. I like how educational your shit can be.
Thank
you.
you.
No, absolutely. You know what I mean? I'm hearing you talk about the iron richness of the water. I'm like, oh shit, man. This is what I like. You know what I mean? This shit is cerebral. You know what I'm saying? I like that. And I mean, like, I guess like what from where does that stem? You know?
It's from where I went to high school. Really, I could like give it all to them. There was like a really strong push on like agricultural knowledge.
That makes sense.
Not only from like just like our earth science classes, but like from other teachers as well. Like I remember, most of the teachers that like work there are from there too. And I remember what was he teaching at the time? Our tech teacher. He would always talk about like sort of like agricultural things about like the community and like how the like Palisade Mountains were formed and why the clay, dirt, whatever in the Catskills is red. Couldn't find the word there for a second. Okay. It's like learning all of those different things, and then like kind of like circling them back. So like luckily like our earth science teachers would be like, these are sedimentary rocks. Go look outside. What's outside? Like and go like, what do you see right there? And then not only that, but like a lot of our physical education was like I actually just posted a video talking about like our 8th grade hike, and like they used to just drop us off in the mountains and just be like, climb it, like send us up. And like send us up there. We did the 4th grade camping. It was the 4th grade camping, and that was in the Ashokan. And I talk a lot about the Ashokan Reservoir. And then we also did Camp Chinjacook, which is up like Lake George area. And that was our 7th and 12th grade camp out as well. And then we just like had like a really strong push for our like agricultural knowledge in the area, and like that kind of like tied into the physical education. It was a ski mountain too, so like in 2nd grade they take the kids out. I wasn't there for 2nd grade, but they take the kids out, and part of their gym classes they send them off to the mountain. And then again in 6th grade, all of us would get cut. We would get sent up to the mountain for Friday ski program, and we got to ski for, I think it was free. So they like taught us how to ski and everything as well. So
that's what's up. Yeah,
and then I mean like there was like a whole bunch of other things. Like we were always outside, taking advantage of like the environment around us, and those are the kinds of things where I was like, shit, like I really should have been more appreciative in my time, because like a lot of kids didn't have that. Some kids just had like blacktop outside, like so it's I was very lucky to have that sort of education and upbringing.
That's what's up. So kind of using the physical pain, so to speak, as a segue, what has been the most painful chapter of your life, and what did it leave behind in you?
God, there's been so many that like really just sucked. I honestly like I could probably just go back to my childhood and loop it all together and be like, yeah, like that whole thing was pretty shit. But I honestly think that 2021, like 21 to 23 was really, really hard on me. my little sister tried to kill herself, and that like really, really altered my brain chemistry. Because it wasn't like I was like watching it like almost like third person. It was like I was like living through it, and I was living through it. But my other little sister had called me on the phone, and she was like, my sister just took a bunch of pills, and so my other little sister called me on the phone, and she was like telling me that she took a bunch of pills, my other sister, and I was like, okay, like how many, like what? And she's like, she's trying to kill herself. And I like gave her directions. I remember telling her, I was like, get on top of her and like make her throw up. I was like, fucking strangle her if you have to, like get on top of her. And so like on one line, I have my sister freaking out, hysterically crying. She's like the youngest one, and she's like trying to like do what I'm trying to tell her to do. And then on the other line, I have like 911, and they're like, your sister already called, like we already like are a hold of the situation, like we know, like we're already like, it's like, you know, like we're already like going back and forth with one another. My mom is like nowhere to be found right now. I don't know where my mom was, probably like working or something, you know. And it's like going back and forth, and like I've always been one of those people that can like lock in like a situation. I'm really, really good with emergencies.
Okay.
I like my fight or flight is like I fight. Like I'm there. When something's going wrong, I show up, I fix it, I go home. So she, you know, she took all these pills, and she ended up in the hospital. Obviously, she lived. She's good.
Rock and roll. Hell yeah.
She's fine, guys. She's in college, so she's okay. But I withdrew from school after that. Yeah, and that like stopped my life, and I didn't want to tell her that it like changed so much of who I was, but like my sisters are my world.
I believe it.
Like you know, like when people would talk about like how like, oh, sisters, they're always fighting, you know, but like they love each other, you know, but they're always like beefing. I've never beefed with my sisters. I've never had that relationship. It was like because our relationship with our parents was so bad, it pushed us closer together.
I love that.
So we always had each other's backs no matter what.
And I can tell you were close with your siblings.
I speak very highly of them.
Yeah, in one of your videos, you talked about the No Child Left Behind Act. You have an autistic brother.
I have an autistic brother, and my sister's autistic as well.
Yeah. The way I enjoyed that video. I mean, oh shit, I'm starting to learn I might be autistic my damn self. I learned I don't read the energy in rooms well. You know what I mean? You've been telling me that for a while. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, there might be something there. But when you said that, it really stuck out to me. You know what I mean? I love the empathy you have for the neurodivergent community. You know what I mean? That's fucking awesome, Iliana. Yeah, absolutely.
I really struggled with my relationship with my brother, and I still do, because of that. That's like another that's like if you want to dive into like something crazy, that my brother, that's the one. My mother and my father, light work. My brother, that's a tough one.
How old is he?
He is 15 months younger than me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're Irish twins, and my other two sisters are Irish twins too.
How's he doing? And like, I mean, is he good?
I don't really know. Like, I love to be on the internet being like, I'm so close to my autistic brother, like how some people really are. I'm not. My brother has all of the trauma that I had and was never able to articulate it. He was never able to sit in therapy and really uncover and think and you know, act pensively and get to the core issues that I was, and that I have had the privilege of being born without the sort of like neurodivergence that he was. I can sit there and flesh through everything. I can pick it all apart. He can't. And all of that comes out in rage. He has always been an extremely angry person. I used to be a very angry person, so I can see it in him. The way he communicates like in the way he like brings things up. Like he'll bring up things like when we see each other like for holidays and stuff, like he'll bring up like issues that I had like years ago, and he'll be like, oh, you still doing that thing? And like it's like he almost like communicates inherently with a sort of like negativity. He can't help. And my sisters and I, we really struggle to have a relationship with him because of that, because he literally just can't do the work in the same way.
Reminds me of
He's high functioning. He does live in a community with like other like autistic individuals. And my mom is a nurse for those individuals. I don't know if she necessarily like is in his specific housing unit, but she works for like the same company.
Yeah.
So, she lives down the road, so she's able to like watch over him. But my mom, again, like isn't a perfect person, and she doesn't have a lot of time to give to him, and it's hard. Like it's really hard. And then we also go back to the smells thing. My brother does not shower, bro. Like, this is the trauma.
Yes.
So my brother stinks at the same time, and he doesn't he doesn't like keep up with like his like physical maintenance or anything like that, and it's really challenging to be around him sometimes. And like my mom would clean him up before like family events and gatherings and stuff, so like it was fine. But like when he was like living in the house, like, and I was there too, like it was really bad. But it's really like shitty because when we were younger, we were like super close. But it's hard to have like an op behind you at all times, bringing up every mistake you've ever made in your life, you know?
Yeah.
And
that shit's fucking annoying.
he's like, he parrots things back. So.
Yeah. My next question for you. What belief about yourself did you have to let go of in order to become the woman you are today?
What belief about myself did I have to let go of?
Mm-hmm.
I used to think that there was like only certain jobs that you could have. Like I was like super like adamant that I was going to be like in politics for the rest of my life. And I guess in a way I kind of am, because I'm posting about it online. I'm talking about it actively.
What is your profession? Like, is the social media thing, is that your profession?
That's one of them.
Rock and roll. So yes, what you had to let go of, please. So that you would only have a job in politics.
Yeah, so like I never thought that I would do anything else. Like when I was younger, from the age of 15 up, you could ask anyone what I wanted to do. I would be like, I was going to work for the United Nations, and I was going to be a political affairs officer, and I was going to save refugees' lives, and I was going to help them out. I was going to go to foreign countries and administer medication and administer school supplies, and I was going to be like this like ultra humanitarian. Working for the UN is hard. Working for the UN is really, really hard. And genuinely, like, I don't know, like I also, like, I think I could do it, right? Like if I really like invested so much more into myself and into my beliefs, like I feel like I can like manifest anything for myself.
I believe it,
Yeah, so like I worked in politics for a little while, and I worked in state politics though. There's a lot more behind the scenes that you just like don't realize is happening.
Tell me about that.
A lot of the things in politics are like already decided. So like say you are a Republican legislator in the state of New York, and you know that we are predominantly blue in New York. You want one of your bills passed. You want it to go all the way up to Kathy, and you need some like Democratic backing on it. You're then going to go to your Democratic colleagues and be like, hey, I'll back you on this if you back me on this. So like people work together behind the scenes way more than you know. And like when people like go online and they soundbite like clip farm, whatever, and they're like, I hate my Democratic colleagues, I hate my Republican colleagues. Like when they go back and forth like that, those are sound bites. They're just doing that to greater draw a divide between
Us
people.
versus them.
Yes.
Yeah. That aspect of
99% of
fascism,
the
by the way.
time, that shit's not real.
Yeah.
That's not real at all. And I've seen it. And like, what they want to do is they want to clip farm for their constituents because there's a lot of people that are stupid. Like, and I hate to say it, but there are a lot of people that are dumb and just see like black and white, or did they just see red and blue? And they want to hear their legislator go, oh, I hate this person. Because then they're like, oh, why do you hate them? And then there's, you know, they're able to draw lines from that and be like, okay, well, like, I am going to go to the ballots, and because I'm a Republican, I'm only going to vote Republican. Or because I'm a Democrat, I'm only going to vote Democrat. And, you know, they create this segregated sort of dynamic that runs in every sort of aspect of our lives, federally, statewide, locally. You know, they create these divides so that they can make their constituents who are maybe not so educated on policy happy. And that's what I learned about state politics.
Fair enough.
Let me ask you a real quick question. It's only something I dwell on it a lot because I watched this video and it really opened my mind.
You believe we're in fascism or are heading toward fascism? Do you believe fascism is a reality in 2026? Knowing what you know about politics?
In the United States, are we heading towards it, or another?
The United States, yes. Given our leadership.
So, what people need to understand about the United States is that we live in a democratic republic. We elect people. We don't. Sorry. We live in a democratic republic. We do not have direct elections, right? So, like, we don't use the popular vote. It's just pretty much like a figure. That's why we have the Electoral College. So, the people in the Electoral College then decide who gets to be president, right? So, already, our democracy...
It's bullshit. I mean, is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, it's your opinion, right? Like, it's a really imperfect system. Now, why we have the Electoral College? The Founding Fathers decided to put that in place because they said a lot of Americans are dumb and uneducated. A lot of Americans are still dumb and uneducated.
This is why Socrates believed that everybody shouldn't be able to vote. Only the people who are intelligent should be able to vote. But how do you determine who's intelligent and who isn't?
I've got some controversial opinions about this.
Okay.
I don't think that you should be able to have an opinion on politics unless you've done, like, thorough education on this. In Japan, you're not allowed to post online about anything specific. Like say for example, I'm a plumber. I can't get online talking about plumbing unless I'm a plumber. Like, that is a rule there. You can like be like fined or something. Like it's like a new law that they just instilled like recently. You can't start spewing shit that doesn't actually exist or make sense online unless it is real. And that is why I have such radical opinions about like who can or should and shouldn't be able to talk about politics, because so often you're scrolling on your timeline and you find something that's just a literal lie.
I wanna say you posted a video about a law that was passed saying that you can go to prison for having tattoos, which is like.
Did you watch that video?
I did. You were very annoyed.
Did you see the comment section underneath it?
Yes.
I posted a video, and it was a screen grab of a fake Canva like bill that had like passed whatever. Through the state of New York, saying that tattoos were going to be like banned or something. Was it banned? Whatever.
Some fuckery, like punishable for up to like 6 months in
something
jail
stupid,
or
right?
Something stupid, yeah.
Obviously fake. Obviously. I started the video and I was like, "Are you too dumb to discern what is real and what is fake?" And my entire comment section, "This is fake. This is fake. This is fake." Are you? That's what I just fucking said. That is what I just fucking said. Why are you now repeating back to me what I just said. I can't believe this is real. I can't believe this is real. Wait, no, this is totally fake. That's what I just fucking said. I'm telling you, it's fake. Why are you now repeating it back to me in the comment section? Why are you asking me if I'm dumb? Because I literally just told you it's fake. That video, I swear to God, no other video in my existence makes me more angry than that one, because it's proof that people are so fucking stupid and do not watch the entire video every fucking time. And you know what? I'm guilty of this too. It's not like every single video I've ever watched, and especially before I became like online, whatever, I would comment something on a video and then finish the video and realize, oh, they brought that up. Go back, delete the comment. I'm an idiot too. But like, people are just so ready to speak before they think.
Negative bias, absolutely.
Oh my God. And everything's about them. Bean soup theory, so real. So real.
The what?
The bean soup theory.
Elaborate.
I'll be like, oh my God, I love tap water. Tap water is so good. And you're like, well, actually, I had a bad experience with tap water one time, and it made me super sick. And I'm like, I'm fucking talking about how much I love tap water. And you're like, it's basically the concept that everything can be made about you. So like, something that's like clearly not for you is getting drawn back to you in some regard. Like, you just want to be involved in some sense.
But, you know, we lack patience because we're so used to instant gratification. You know what I mean? If you don't fall into this way, then like you're an op, and then we have to look at you a certain way.
That's like a, you know, like you know, you're like moral alignment stuff, like with D&D, like or chaotic evil, chaotic good.
I've never played Dungeons and Dragons.
Neither have I, but I know about the alignments. John, do you know about this? The alignment scale?
Only from like memes. I can't say I'm that big of a nerd.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I've ranged in my life. There have been times when I have been like chaotic evil, but that's because I am not afraid to step on others to get what I want. And like if someone's up for a job and I'm up for that job too, I'm taking that job. You know, right?
Yeah.
But that indicates that you're chaotic evil. In a
Fucking
sense.
lion.
But I am a little
Lioness.
chaotic. I'm clearly chaotic.
Oh.
But I am chaotic good now.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm a lot more laissez-faire when it comes to things of that regard.
Listen, you got to play the game. You know what I mean? But you got to play with ethics.
Play.
You know what I'm saying? No, absolutely. I completely understand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, and not for nothing, you said that you have these socialist views. You have to go through capitalism in order to get to socialism and eventually communism, if that's what you believe in. I mean, there has to be a sense of stability in order for that to be able to exist. So I mean,
I don't think I'm a communist per se, but I do like to joke about like Marxism and stuff like that. I do like to like lace it through in the conversations, and like people like, especially like people that don't know a lot about politics, like you say something about like Marx, they're like, communism?
I tell people about communism, and like their minds goes to like the Soviet Union. I'm like, dude, that's not communism. That's not. You know what I mean? But that sets me up for another conversation entirely. I just have to understand the can of worms I'm opening up when I bring that up to people.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a good party starter.
Oh yeah.
How do you guys feel about communism?
You know what I'm saying? I'll just come through communism. You know what I mean? And people are like, whoa. You know, what the fuck? What the hell is this guy? You know what I mean? And
it was always really interesting to learn about, though.
It is.
Yeah.
You know, I have a copy of the Communist Manifesto. I'm reading it. You know what I mean? I love it. You know what I mean? I love learning about new things, and I love the idea of a classless society. I love the idea of to each their ability, and to each we get what we need. I think that's beautiful. You know what I mean? But it's one of those things where it works so beautifully in theory, but if it's able to be a reality, it's a different conversation. Maybe within a small community, but as a whole, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. I don't know so much about communism. I only know like more like political theory sort of perspective on it, because that's like what my extent was while in college. So I won't really touch things usually unless I know a lot about it.
Of course.
At risk of sounding dumb, and or sounding like a know-it-all, but like without sort of backing to it. So communism, I find it interesting, but like I don't really, like that wasn't a lot of what I ended up talking about in college.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't where my higher education ended up going to. And in some respects, yeah. We did like a lot about like I took like Korean history classes, and I learned a lot about like Middle East and stuff like that. Middle East was definitely a big one. But yeah, like specific classes that like allowed me to like delve into. But unfortunately, I never got around to doing like I would have loved to take like a Vietnam War class. Like that would have been really, really cool. Mm-hmm.
But just so we can, just to drive us home as we're right there.
I've been watching this wasp trying to get out. After we're done here, I'm gonna open up the window for him to get out.
I like that.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't kill me. I'm not allergic to bees, but I am afraid of wasps. So, but I really want him to get out because he's like kind of having a struggle moment.
If I'm not mistaken, wasps can sting and not die, whereas a bee, if it stings you, it's dead. So.
Love. No, I have like weird empathy for like creatures like that. Like one day there was, the way that my windows are in my house, there's like the glass and then there's the mesh, right? Like the screen. And I don't know how, but dude got caught in between the two. And I was like, well, dude, like I don't know how the fuck like I'm gonna get him out right now. And the other day, I had to like spray. I like literally like I napalmed him. That's really bad to say. I should not say that. But like I like had to spray him.
In Vietnam.
Where we're on the Vietnam topic, I like sprayed him with like a cleaner to like kill him because I was like, there's no way that I can like safely like remove him. And then I cried afterwards. I was like I felt so bad that I had to kill him. I don't like that. Like,
What gives me the right?
Right, what gives me the right? He was in my house. He was an invader, but
But it's like, yo, before this shit was built, I mean, this was free range.
this was free range.
So it's like, you know what I mean? Are they invaders or are we the invaders? What the fuck's, you know what I mean? That's a deeper philosophical question.
Well, I'm native Puerto Rican ethnically, so so who invaded who?
Fair enough. You know what
It's
I
okay.
mean?
We've all been colonized in some respect.
But just to bring us back, what truth about yourself do you wish people could see beyond the content you create?
Oh, I always worry if I'm showing too much of my personality, like being like aggressive or like if I'm showing the accurate parts of myself. I haven't had any like real like negative feedback about like meeting in person or anything like that. Like I always feel like I'm like always like really excited to meet people, and I try to like every time someone comes up to me, I'm always like I really really try to like get to know you and like be as personable as possible. As far as like what I've been told, I was told that I am a lot less combative in person than I appear to be online, but I don't know. How do you feel like I am in person versus how I am online? I'll flip the script.
Oh, I mean, shit. I mean, I didn't really feel like you were combative online personally. I just felt like you were somebody that was expressing opinions, and there are certain opinions that you were more passionate about than others. I didn't view that as combativeness.
You read the comment section? Ooh.
I don't always read comments only but I've learned to not do that because people are too safe behind these screens.
Oh, not me, girl. I am not safe behind those screens.
Yeah.
And honestly, one of my favorite things to do with people when they are commenting on my posts is like I'll call them beautiful. Like they'll start like arguing, right? Like coming in hot, and I'll be like, whatever you say, beautiful. Or like they'll be like, oh yeah, like stupid bitch, whatever. And I was like, what if we kissed instead? Like and it takes them out of body. They're like, what?
You know, I used to do
I
shit.
always do that.
I used to do shit like that when I was on ecstasy years ago.
Well,
Yeah, people used to come through with bullshit. I used to just blow them kisses on, you know what I mean? It didn't really work in my favor, you know what I mean? And maybe it's easier for you being a woman, but for me, it's just like, this guy's
well, because
fucking
like
weird.
most of the time, like it's men like leaving hate comments. Women seldom leave a hate comment, and men that like they'll pull up, whatever. And honestly, I had this one guy, he like would show up on my posts every single time, like, and he would leave a hate comment every single post. And then I was like, just like flirted with him one time, and I was like, what if we kissed instead? Bro, DM me. He's like, all right, I actually do like you. I actually have a crush on you. I was like, what the fuck are you leaving hate comments for then?
Oh my god.
Like, oh, this whole time we could have been friends. Like, this whole time we could have like been kind to each other, and now you're like, what was that all for? Like, what was that really all for?
All right. Well, you know, okay.
So like, I feel like a lot of the hate can be like softened.
I mean, obviously, this individual didn't know you at all, but it was just like there was a desire.
There was like 5 or 6 posts like.
Yeah.
Fucking bullshit in my comment, like literally just like commenting like nothingness in my comment section, and then one day I was just like,
I just think he probably felt like you were out of his league and he had like no shot anyway. So maybe.
But that's just like so incel behavior.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she's out of my league. Let me hate on her.
Yeah, that's. I mean, but that's.
You should be shooting above your league. If anything, like you should always be kinder because you never know where you might land.
Kid shit, but we're all just big kids in adult costumes. You know what I mean? And some of that shit just looks different. You know what I mean? Like. The right situation will make anybody do the wrong thing in their own way. You know what I mean? And unfortunately for him, it was that. And I God bless him. I hope that guy gets what he needs because that's fucking wild. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and pretend like in my younger years I haven't done similar fuckery. You know what I'm saying? Listen, everybody's trauma looks different, but we're all victims of the same disease. We just exhibit our symptoms differently. You know what I'm saying? But I like how you approach that with positivity. But again, to double down on your
not always. So sometimes I'm a bitch.
Fair enough.
Sometimes I'd be fighting back.
I like the honesty. But you're not. I don't view you as a combative person. I view you as a very authentic person. I view you as somebody who's comfortable in raw form, and I fuck with it personally. I was looking at your shit. I was like, oh, this is ADHD energy, dude. Rock and roll. You know what I mean? I like it.
Don't block it.
You know what I mean? I have ADHD energy. You know what I'm saying? I love it. You know, you're talking fast, rapid.
I do that on purpose.
Yeah. You know
I don't
mean?
talk that fast in person. But like online, I like double, triple time it. And like I don't even speed it up, dude. Like I literally just talk that fast to get my thoughts out. And that's why like, God, I have to do like 5, 6, 7, 8 takes sometimes just like speeding it up because I'm like, I didn't say it fast enough. They're not going to listen. But every single time I do it in like that sort of cadence where I'm speaking faster, views go up. People are watching more. It's like the immediate gratification thing. It's
talk
like
faster, huh?
Yeah, talk faster, keep up. Talking, and honestly, like when I watch videos, if they're talking too slow, I'm like, yawn. And that's exactly what I do. So like I'm a content consumer also. A lot of content creators are not, but I consume. And so like I know all the trends, I know what's going on in like the internet like realm, whatever. I know what's happening online. So like I know what I'm willing to sit there and like sit through to consume. And if I'm not willing to sit through my own content, who will?
When you're alone and the camera is off, what part of yourself asks to be understood the most?
Honestly, I feel like it might be the same. I don't feel like I perform in any way. I don't feel like who I am online is different from who I am in person. I feel like what you see is what you get. And the longing that I have to be known comes in all regards. And I think that that's probably like the same for other people as well. I don't think there's like one specific thing I could like kind of like nail down because I think that, I mean, whoever wants to know me will know me, and that's like an effort on their end. And if they don't, they don't. I don't put in any effort to like make myself known to people anymore. I think I did that like recently, like with someone, like 2 years ago. I like really put in so much effort to make them know me because I felt like if they knew me, they would like me more. And like I really wanted to like just like let my heart out on the table and be like, you know, like you will love the person that I am if you just knew every ancient aspect of me. And that doesn't make someone love you. That doesn't make someone interested in being your friend. Like, they have to choose that. So it's kind of like, it is what it is at that point.
And my last question for you. Years from now, when people remember Iliana Jasmine, what do you hope they understand about the human being behind the social media persona? If you want to call it a persona, because it's you. You know what I'm saying?
I hope they remember me as like pensive, a thinker, with a lot of ideas and insight. I think that would ideally be like how I would be remembered. But like, one thing that I've always wanted to do is I've always wanted to buy like a little like chalet in
A what?
A chalet.
What is that?
A home.
Oh!
It's just a house. It's just like a ski house.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
some fancy shit.
Yeah, well, I grew up on a ski mountain.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
So like I've always wanted to buy a chalet in the Swiss Alps and pass it down through my family and like have that in like my bloodline, and then there would be like photos of me on the wall, and then like my grandchildren will go and be like, this was grandma, she was the best, she was such a world traveler, she was so cool.
Ooh, yeah.
And like
some royalty shit. I
yeah,
like that.
yeah. And they'll like bring their boyfriends and stuff and be like, this was our great grandmother. She was the shit. And you know what? I do that same thing right now with my great grandma. She's 101. Like, I love talking about the matriarch of my family. She's so cool. Old as shit. Like, literally.
Seasoned.
She's 101.
Wisdom.
Dude. She, like, and like, I always talk about, like, how much of a humanitarian she was, and like just like how much she wanted to help other people and stuff, and like that to her core is who she's going to be remembered as, you know. And luckily she's still alive, so this is like great that I have her here. But like when she's passed, like we're going to remember her as like this human that helped other humans, and who she was to her core, and how cool she was, and how much insight she had about the world, you know. And trailing that along as like a historian through stories and words that we can share with other people. And that's who I aspire to be, is like her, you know, and like have all these stories and helping other people and like introducing insight that you maybe might not have thought about before. I think that all will like make me pleased with how I'm remembered, you know. Like, I don't have to be the most famous person, I don't have to be the best looking person in the room, like none of that matters to me. But if I am remembered by my loved ones as a person who like just knew a lot about life and the world, then that's like what's most important to me.
Verity over vanity.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been saying that, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I want to make sure that everybody that views this shit understands what that means. A lot of people don't know what verity means. It's just another word for truth. I like it. I like to use synonyms. I like to expand my vocabulary. Verity over vanity, people. That's what this person is. You know what I'm saying? This was fucking amazing.
Woohoo!
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to sit down with little old May. You know what I mean? I learned a lot about life. I learned what a Chalamet. I'm sorry, the Chalamet.
Not the Chalamet.
Not Timothy Chalamet. What
A
is
chalet.
A chalet. You know what I mean? I need to get out more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Have you ever been skiing?
No.
Oh, you gotta go. It's the best.
Oh my God. Fuck yeah. I've been thinking about it. You know, there's so many things I need to do.
You'll break your ass, but it's so much fun.
Rock and roll.
But it's okay. It's like you're bound to fall no matter what. Even like the pros fall.
Fair enough.
You know?
Fair enough. Listen, I would love to be able to do a follow up with you at some point, and just touch base with you again. It was a pleasure and an honor to be able to sit down with you.
You as well.
Thank you.
Plug your social media.
Yes, please. Yes, that's
okay.
why he's here. Yeah.
You can follow me if you want to. Yes, you can follow me at Iliana Jasmine, ILIANAJASMINE on I do TikTok and Instagram, and occasionally I try to use Facebook and YouTube, but not really so much, but maybe I'll try harder.
Rock and roll.
Yeah.
And that's a wrap. Hell yes.
That's fun.